Hey friends, welcome back to Everson Road. I am Naomi if you are new here, and today I'm going to be taking you on a journey. I call it a journey because I'm going to be canning several shelf-stable meals. Let me get my list. So first thing I'm going to make is chicken soup. I'm going to make chili. I'm going to make beef stew with vegetables. I'm going to make my Mexican chicken soup again. I'm going to make a no meat vegetable soup, and I'm going to make chicken pot pie filling, and I'm also going to make canning my husband's favorite, cherries. I got these at Aldi for $2.50 a pound. It's a great price. Beautiful little cherries. I can these in honey. I made a video, and I will link it below, last year that we use honey and water to can our cherries, and that's all. And my husband said you cannot miss the sugar. So this is going to take a few days. Today I'm going to show you how I prep for a canning day. I have 3 whole chickens that need to be cooked. Every recipe requires them to be cooked, so I'm just going to cook the whole chicken, and then I'll have extra broth and things I can use in these recipes. I'm also going to see what else needs to be prepped, and I'm going to take you guys on that little journey and show you how I take a big, huge project and try to break it up over a few days. We are really trying to get out of debt. That's our number one goal right now. And having shelf-stable meals is a huge thing. It's huge. We know that like when my husband, there's no leftovers, because sometimes our meals don't have leftovers. He can grab something off the shelf. He can take it to work and heat it up. And it's such a blessing to our family. So that's one of our main goals. And having shelf-stable food is just comfort. Like if the power goes out, it's there, it's cooked. It's not, I mean, it's better heated of course, but if it's not able to be, you could eat it from the jar if you really wanted to. So that's a comfort, not to be like doomsday people, but just to be prepared. And we love that. So join us because Adam might be helping a few days. Join us as we make these shelf-stable meals, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I got these chickens at Walmart or at Aldi. They usually have organic chickens. They did not this time, and these are the Never Any. They're better than regular. Not the best, but I'm gonna use what we have. But I have this roasting pan, and I have this big guy here. Sorry for the bang. And I'm going to try to get all 3 of these chickens in my oven, because I do have 3 big honker chickens here, like this. So I'm gonna prepare these. I'm gonna get them out of their packages, rinsed, and then I'm going to add olive oil to the top with salt, pepper, and garlic, and then I'm going to put water at the bottom of the pan so that I can get some broth from it so I can use some of that in my soups. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. So here are the chickens done. I'm going to actually get these ripped off the bones and get these bones put in a pot because, true story, this is my last jar of broth and I need it for canning. So I'm going to, overnight, I'm going to can or make some broth with the chicken carcasses I have. I have some in the freezer as well. So I'm going to bring them up and get them in my new stock pot that I'll show you in a second. This is my new Big Bertha stock pot I was given. I don't think it was ever used. It's quite tall. And I'm going to fill this thing up with bones and water and get myself some stock made overnight so that I have it for canning. It's just going to delay my canning a little bit, but that's life, and I will be ready to go. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to do it and that I don't have to go to the store again because it's 100,000 degrees out and I don't want to spend any more money on stock. So I'm going to get this going and get all this chicken ripped off these bones. So I got a gallon of meat. It's pretty stuffed full from them 3 chickens. And then over here is the carcasses. And then beyond, this is the broth it made. It's really beautiful. It's only like half of a stock pot, like a 7-quart stock pot, but it's gonna be delicious broth. But that's what I got out of those chickens, and I'm going to get more bones out of my freezer so I can make bone broth, or at least broth, because I do save all the fat, everything, so it's like a flavorful broth. And then tomorrow I will pick back up with some canning. Not the most appealing thing to look at, but this is my pot of chicken carcasses. Most of these are frozen. I'm going to fill this guy up with water and get some broth made. I save all my chicken carcasses. This is just the best way. I haven't bought broth in a very long time because I do this. So yeah, just gonna fill it with water, and then tomorrow I'll have some good golden broth for all my canning. All right, so before we get started, I wanted to show you something kind of interesting of what we do and how we store some of our jars. I have a bunch of these jars down. You can see the jars here. I have a bunch of these in our basement in like totes, but these are the ones I grab when I need to can something. Sweet Adam built me this bench in front of our bay window, and I decided to put a shelf. You can see our shoes in there. I know it's very random, but we put our shoes here. And then underneath I store jars. And since I completely sterilize and wash my jars every time I go to can, regardless if they're clean or not, I store them there and it works out fine. So that's just a tip, because we have a very, very tiny house and it's hard to have storage. So I thought this was interesting to share. You can make anything work. And when this empties out, all I do is I put our newly canned items under there. So it's like in and out constantly. But yeah, and then because I have my pantry, which I've done a pantry tour and I showed you guys, but my pantry is not big enough. Once it gets, especially during the summer, once it gets filled, it's not nearly big enough for all our jars. And this is actually more convenient because it's actually near my kitchen. So I just wanted to show you guys. All right, so today I'm going to be canning chicken pot pie filling. I will be tagging all these in the description, or linking them all in the description below. And I'm looking through and seeing what I need to dice up. Like this has onions and carrots. I did print this, but my printer's being weird and only printing half. So I need onions, carrots, potatoes, celery. I need to get all of that chopped up. And then I'm making this chicken soup here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Or not. There we go. Oh, it's still not wanting to focus. Let's see. Anywho, it's hard to see. But for the chicken soup that I'm making, I need, oh, there it tries to do it. I need some chicken, which I already have cooked, celery, carrots, and onion. So I'm going to get that chopped up. And then this is my chicken Mexican soup. It's our favorite. I mean, like favorite. And this also needs carrots, celery, onions. I have tomato diced already. And then, what else? Oh, garlic. I need to chop garlic, which I'll be using fresh from our garden this year, which I'm excited about. So those are the things I'm going to start with. I'm going to get all the things chopped and prepped first. And I'm going to do it in bulk, like all the carrots, all the celery, all the onions. And then I'll just divvy it up over the different recipes. Okay, got you at a different angle today. I'm trying to get better angles. My kitchen's very small, so it's very hard for me to get different angles, and excuse the air conditioner, it's just way too humid and hot here not to run it. But I'm going to start with the easiest one. It's Mexican chicken soup. I made it before. I'll link that video below. It is dump and go, and that's what I like about it. So that's what I'm gonna do first. It's one of our family favorites. We go through it so fast. But this pot makes 7 quarts, which is perfect for the canner. The other ones I might just stick in the same thing because I've never made these 2 recipes exactly before, and I think they're all gonna fit in one canner. So let's get started with our Mexican chicken soup. So the first thing it requires is chicken breast. I just threw the chickens I cooked the other day into this bag, and I'm just going to pull it apart and get this chicken put in. I'm gonna split it into thirds because I need it for the chicken soup and for the chicken pot pie filling. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm just gonna get this chicken ripped up and put inside this pot. And that's what I like about this recipe. It's literally just dump and go. Alright, since I cut up all the ingredients, I'm just gonna add the carrots. It says 1.5 cups, but I'm just gonna look what like thirds are because I need it for each one. All my recipes today require carrots. Same with the onion. I'm just gonna third this bowl that I have right here. Same with the celery. I need it for all 3, so I'm just gonna see what I think a third is. And then all this garlic needs to go in this. So I'm gonna get that. So I'm gonna get this garlic all put in here. Alright, so in this pot I've got our chicken, carrots, celery, onions, garlic, and then I need to add in, it says 2 15-ounce cans of kidney beans. I did black beans and kidney beans. It wants 3 cups of corn, and it says fresh or frozen, so I'm just using this corn from Aldi, and I'm dumping this whole thing in. So it asks for 4 cups of diced tomatoes. I'm just using the Walmart brand because I ran out. I'm hoping to can enough this year. 2 cans of Rotel. I just use the Aldi brand. And then, let's see. So we got the chicken, carrots, celery, onions, Rotel, kidney beans. That we need 6 cups of water, 6 cups of broth. We did the corn. Let's add our cumin. It says a teaspoon, but we only like about half of that. I don't know why, we just do. We need salt. And then we need chicken bouillon, which we are going to use our chicken broth and simmer this and taste it. So I'm gonna get 6 cups of chicken broth and 6 cups of water into here. This right here is our broth we made from our chickens. It's very gelatinous. I'm gonna do my best to measure out 6 cups and get it put in this pan. So that's 6 cups of broth. It's jello-y. It'll heat up when I cook the soup. And then I do 6 cups of water. Alright, so everything's in this pan. It's very full, like I said. I'm going to get this on the stove and I'm going to heat this and cook it. Let's see how long it says. Oh, it says just boil, or wait, let's see. You add all the ingredients, bring to a boil, simmer for 3 minutes. So it doesn't have to go very long. And then I'm going to prepare my jars while I wait. I'm doing quarts. I'm going to get them completely sanitized, washed, and heat them so they stay warm, because you do not want to put hot liquids into cold jars. So that's what I'm going to do now. Our soup has come to a simmer. I love the colors in this soup. It's so pretty, and excuse the overhead lighting. It's a very fall feeling day. Not feeling, but looking. It's cloudy and breezy and beautiful, and I'm excited for fall. It's been too hot. But this is the soup. It's simmered. I'm going to get it put into jars. I'm going to show you how I do one jar. And then I'm just going to do the rest off camera because it's easier. I have my jar sitting in my pressure canner. Let me get this adjusted here. Alright, so I stick my funnel in here. I like to get a spoon of the mixture without a lot of broth to put in the bottom. And that has seemed, like 2 of them, that seems to have worked for us for this specific soup. And then I just fill the rest up with the broth. You want to do it to, let's see what the headspace is. A 1-inch headspace. That's probably too much. I like to sit my ladle here and put this here. I'm gonna scoop out some of this broth. To this rim here is an inch. I just know because I've been canning for a while and I know. Alright, so now that is filled, I'm going to take, I have vinegar in this bowl right here. I'm just going to wipe this rim really, really well, because you want a good seal. And then I take my lid, stick it center. I hold my finger here so it doesn't move too much, and I just put my ring on it. And you do it to fingertip tight. You don't want to over tighten it because it won't seal. I don't understand the science. I think it's because the air needs to escape and get out while it's pressure canning. So I'm going to do the rest of these and get these put in the canner. They are all in the canner now. I have a teeny bit of soup left, but I'll just cook that up and save it for lunch. Oh, the steam got the camera. Sorry about that. So these will go for 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure, and then I'll let them sit and then take them out of the canner, and then we'll have one of our meals ready for our soup. Sorry about all the noise. My pressure canner is like right next to this pot right here. You can see it in the video here. I'm going to work on the chicken pot pie. I turned the heat to about medium. I put 3 tablespoons of butter in here, and then I'm going to take half of the onion mix that I had cut up earlier, and I'm going to add that to this pan. Now the fire alarm's going off in my neighborhood. Oh, this is fun. Anywho, I'm going to saute this for a little bit. It says to do mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms, so I'm not adding them. So I'm going to let this get sauteed, and it says about 3 minutes until lightly brown. And then you add the chicken, carrots, potatoes, celery, and then do the same thing. But I think I'm going to add my carrots and celery now because my chicken's cooked, and it says to cook, let it cook, but mine's already cooked. So I'm going to get my carrots and celery and potatoes in here. Again, half of this bowl here. Like I said, this is our chicken pot pie filling. I cannot believe all the noise that's happening right now. It's cracking me up. Half the celery is going to go in. And then I'm going to add all the potatoes. And I'm just going to get those stirred up here and get those sauteing. And then I'll add the chicken and the stock. It also requires white wine. I'm not doing that either. I'm just going to add an extra cup of chicken broth. So I'm going to just let this get simmered up. Or sauteed up, I should say. Alright, I'm going to add chicken that I have already cooked, I already said. Gotta add a good bit of this in here. Chicken pot pie is probably one of our family's favorite meals. I make it several different ways. Sometimes I just stick it in a 9x13 pan and add like drop biscuits that I make homemade on top, and then I'll bake it like that. Or I use the traditional pie crust where I put the pie crust in, fill it, then put another pie crust on top, you know, slice the top, like little slits in the top to let steam escape, and I do it that way. Both are so good, and we like it either way. My oldest son prefers it with biscuits on top. He likes the biscuits the best. But my other two guys, they don't care too much, and I don't either. I do like the biscuits though. They're very buttery, crispy on top, and they're so good. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this chicken ripped up and put in this pot, and then I'm gonna let this heat through because this chicken's cold from being in the fridge. And then I'm gonna add all the broth and all the seasonings. And then I'm probably just gonna take it off the burner because this doesn't have to cook very long, like 10 minutes. That way, when this canner's done here, I can get the other one started, but I'm gonna let this sit. The chicken soup requires a little bit more cooking time, so I'm gonna work on that one next. Alright, so I have this huge pot of broth that I showed you guys that I made. It's been simmering for quite a long time. I measured out 6 cups because I'm replacing the white wine with broth. And then I'm going to add this now to our pot and get that in and simmer it for 10 minutes. And I do not have frozen peas as the recipe requires, so I'm adding corn, which is what I usually add in my pot pie. So, no big deal. I'm just going to add corn instead and get all that put together, and I will show you guys what that looks like. Alright, I let this heat up, and now I'm going to add the broth in. I measured out 6 cups. It asks for thyme, salt, and black pepper. I'm going to add salt and pepper, but I'm going to add Italian seasoning because I think it would be good. So just a little bit of salt. A little bit of black pepper. And then I'm going to add my Italian seasoning. That. And then this has to simmer for 10 minutes, and that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this go, and then on the back burner I'm going to start getting the chicken soup going, because I think that like obviously this is not making 7 quarts. This might make 3, maybe 4. I'm going to get the chicken soup going too. And I'm not doubling these or anything because I've never had them before, and I want to make sure we like them before I go wasting all my ingredients on this, on these 2 recipes. So that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, in this pot, I'm going to start working on the chicken soup. This is from the Ball Book of Canning. It needs 16, it says 4 quarts of chicken stock, so it's 16 cups. So I'm going to measure that out from our broth, and then you just add everything else, and I'll show you that process as I go. This is 16 cups of chicken broth. Now you add in the rest of the carrots. I'm going to do this gently because that broth is hot and I don't want it to splatter. Gentle. So that's the rest of the carrots. The rest of our celery. I'm going to be careful. The rest of our onions. And then you add in chicken. So I'm going to get that pulled apart and put in here. And then you can add bouillon, but I don't know if I need to because I made this broth. I'm going to taste it after it starts to boil and see what it tastes like and see if it needs anything. I'm going to get the heat turned on here and just get a lot of this chicken ripped up inside here. I added all the chicken in that I needed to, and then it says salt and pepper to taste. I always under season a little bit. Now normally I would add Italian seasoning to this, but I'll do that the day I cook it. That way it doesn't ruin anything that's going on with the canning. So I'm gonna stir this up, let this come up to a boil, and then I'm gonna taste the flavor, you know, check to see if I need any more seasonings, and then I'll go from there. But this has to go for 30 minutes, and then I will probably end up letting it sit because there's an hour and 15 minutes left on our Mexican chicken soup in the pressure canner. So I'm gonna let this go, and then I'll probably just put it on the burner until it's time to can, reheat it when it's time, and then just do what I did before. These are both the chicken pot pie filling and this soup are an hour and a half, 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure if you're doing quarts, so that's what I'll be doing. And then I will show you that when we get there. So I do have quite a bit of the stock left, which is great. I don't mind it for my shelves. I'm going to measure out what I need. I am doing more canning recipes with beef. I'm going to see what I need for that, and then the rest of this, if there's enough, I'm going to can. And that requires like a 30-minute canning process in a pressure canner at 10 pounds of pressure. And yeah, it's a beautiful stock. I'm glad I keep my carcasses. That's just your reminder. Save your carcasses and the skins. It makes a beautiful broth. So our first batch is done. Our Mexican chicken soup, it looks like every one of them sealed, which is great. Now I'm gonna get the chicken pot pie filling and the chicken noodle soup. Chicken soup, I shouldn't say noodles. There's no noodles in it. I'm gonna get it in the canner as well. So there's not much of the chicken noodle soup left, but I'm just going to leave this for Adam for work. It's just like a bowl or two. And then over here is what's left of the chicken pot pie mix, which is like nothing, but I might just add that into the chicken soup, honestly. And then we have our canners full of our chicken soup and our chicken pot pie. So I'm going to get this up to pressure, 10 pounds of pressure for an hour and a half, and then I will be done for today at least. I got some beef ones I want to do using ground beef and stew meat, and that'll be a different day because I'm tired and I don't want to do it today. Plus I don't have time. So yeah, I'm gonna get that on, and then I'll show you all the results when it's over. Here's our end product of today. I got 3 chicken pot pies, 4 chicken soups, 7 Mexican chicken soups, and that's what we got. Took me several hours. Filming does add a lot of time, so I don't want to discourage you, but these are super awesome to have, especially when we're busy. Like today is a busy day, and it's nice to be able to just grab something off the shelf and heat it up and it's ready to go. So I want to thank you all for being here today. We got a lot done today, and it's very exciting to have 14 ready to go meals on our shelves. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. We would love for you to be part of our Everson Road family, and we will see you next time, friends. Bye.